Hello, POLSCI001. It's that time again. Third test coming up. So, going to do this study guide for you, help you guys out, and let's get into it. All right. So this is one of the questions you could get for the essay portion. What is political socialization? What are the 5 agents of political socialization? And give me examples of each agent from your own personal experiences. So, what you have to do is you need to tell me what political socialization is. Then you need to tell me the 5 agents of political socialization. And then I want to hear your, give me examples from your own experience. So, political socialization, pretty simple. I will go with the layman's way of speaking. Political socialization, where you get your political beliefs from. So, you're socialized into society. Where do you get your beliefs, thinking about politics from? The 5 main agents we have is family, media, education, peers, and religion. So, what you have to do with these 5 is you have to tell me how each one has affected in your life. Your family has told you what's right and wrong, hopefully. So you're gonna tell us why family is important. You're on social media, you watch movies, you watch TV. Do they have a political agenda behind that stuff you watch or look up online? Education, you're in a class right now, you're learning about politics, so that one should be simple. Peers, we all like to be like our friends. We tend to do the things that our friends want to do because we want to have those friends. Do they influence you on how you vote or the way you think about stuff politically? And then religion. Religion plays an important role, maybe not as much as it used to, but it still plays an important role. And even if you don't go to church, there's a reason why you choose not to be religious. So you can talk about that. So in this, pretty simple, you name the 5, tell me about them, and then give me examples. Okay? So not a hard question. All right, second question. What are 2 main ideologies in the United States? What are the differences between them? So here you're going to talk about what the 2 main ideologies are. A lot of students will get this wrong because they'll give me the parties. I'm not looking for the parties, I'm looking for the ideologies. So in here we have conservative is one, and liberal is the other. So now you go through the litany of what the differences are. What do conservatives believe? What do liberals believe? I'm looking for a very comprehensive essay on what do conservatives believe, what do liberals believe. Probably the biggest thing that you have to talk about is role of government. How does one see government? How does the other see government? Should government solve all problems? Should government step back? That is the main difference between the 2 ideologies. And then most everything else stems from that difference. I'm probably looking for 10 differences between both. So definitely tell me what conservatives believe. And what liberals believe. That's what I'm going to be looking for when we talk about these 2 ideologies. So conservatives conserve, keep things the same. Liberals change society. So that's what I'm looking for. Be sure to hit those things and really go in depth about differences. Don't be brief. All right, last one. This is a very detailed essay question. So this is from chapter 11. Toward the end, you're going to tell me about party systems. So this one, there's a lot, in this essay question, there's a lot that you're going to need to explain. So, what is the party system? Easy way to explain it, people voted certain way during certain time periods. So really, that's a good way to explain what a party system is. People during a certain time period in American history voted certain ways. So now what you're going to do is there's 6 major party systems in U.S. history. So you need to talk about those 6 party systems. And this is all from my notes. Whoops. One, Federalist and Anti-Federalist is the first. (1789 to 1824). I'm looking for years. I want years. I want you to tell me about this. So, when we look at Federalists and Anti-Federalists, tell me what Federalists believe, tell me what Anti-Federalists believe. Why does the party system begin? Because the Constitution is ratified. Constitution was ratified in 1789. Because the Constitution was ratified. Ends because no more founding fathers. So be sure to tell me what Federalists believe. Federalists believe a strong national government, Anti-Federalists strong state governments. So you need to explain these things. Second party system is Democrats and Whigs. (1824 to 1860). So in this time period, you have no more Federalists and Anti-Federalists. They become the Democrat Party and the Whig Party. You need to tell me what Democrats believe, and you need to tell me what Whigs believe, which is in the notes, in my notes, in chapter 11, toward the end. And when one ends, that's the reason that the next one begins. And it ends because of the Civil War. So go through the notes, tell me what Democrats believe in this time period, tell me what Whigs believe in this time period, and it's related to the Civil War. One party's agricultural base, the other party's more industrial base. I'll do a new slide. Party systems. So we have the third party system. So now we have this new party. Republicans, Democrats in close competition. So really the hallmark of this, the way people voted in this time period, is they couldn't decide on which party should rule, so they went back and forth between the two parties. Neither could gain a clear upper hand. So Republicans would dominate for 4 years, Democrats would dominate the next 4 years, and then back to Republicans, and so on and so forth. So it went back and forth between the two parties. Alright, I guess I should put the years. Begins in 1860, ends in 1896. Alright, so we have here, oops. So we have here, when we talk about this, it begins because of the Civil War, the same reason why the last one ended, and ends because of the Spanish American War. So, what happens because of the Spanish American War? The U.S. takes colonies and then becomes all powerful. And one party, when good things happen to the country, one party is praised and they keep their job. When bad things happen to the country, the party in power loses power and doesn't keep their job. So we go to the fourth system, Republican ascendancy. What Republican ascendancy means is Republicans always won elections. So in this time period, from 1896 to 1932, Republicans always won elections. Because of the Spanish-American War, Republicans were in power. They now get to keep the White House for the next 30 plus years, 36 plus years. They get to keep power, except for once. There's one Democrat president that wins in this time period, but for the most part, it's Republicans that always win. So it begins because of Spanish-American War. Ends because of the Great Depression. So remember I just said one party is raised up because of good things happening in the country. Well, because the Great Depression hits, Republicans are blamed for the Great Depression and lose power. So that leads us to the fifth party system, Democrat ascendancy. So in Democrat ascendancy, Democrats always won elections in this time period. So from 1932 to 1968, Democrats always won elections. Except for once, one Republican won in this time period, but for the rest of the time period, Democrats always won elections. So we know why it begins, because of the Great Depression. And it ends because of the Vietnam War. So, in this time period, Democrats always won. Vietnam comes about. People seek a change from being in this war. So that's why we come to a new party system. Going to a new slide. Systems. Alright, so now we have the sixth party system, divided government. 1968 to present. Alright, so divided government, what divided government means is one party controls one branch of government, the other party controls the other branch of government. So, as an example, today, you have Donald Trump as president, and you have Democrats in control of the House. House of Representatives, so part of Congress. If we look back at President Obama, Republicans had control of Congress. President Bush, the second Bush, Democrats had control of Congress. Bill Clinton, Republicans had control of Congress. George H.W. Bush and Reagan both had Democrat Congress. So divided government means one party controls one branch of government, the other party controls the other branch of government. It begins because of the Vietnam War, and it's up to today. So it hasn't ended, could end. That's why we go to the next part of the question. We need to explain realignment. So you need to tell me what brings about the party system falling apart and coming again. There are three things that we political scientists look for when we look at a realigning election or realignment. Drop off in voting. Not as many people voting anymore, so we move from one party system to another. Maybe they're tired of old party choices. So if there's a drop off in voting, which has been happening, then we also have split ticket voting. In split ticket voting, you vote for one party's candidates for some offices and the other party's candidates for other offices. So you're voting down ballot and you're splitting the vote, which has been happening more often, right? You may vote for a Republican for president and a Democrat for Congress. That's split ticket voting. That's happening more often. So political scientists will look for these things, these three things. That explains a realignment. The last thing we look for is party switching. So people changing their party affiliation. So when they register, they're registering and they're changing their registration from Republican to Democrat or Democrat to Republican. That is happening more often right now. People are leaving both parties and becoming independent. So when you're looking at, when we try to explain realignment, you need to talk about these three things and what they are. So be sure to explain them, don't just list them. So explain what they are as well. And then the last part of this question, what is the next party system going to look like? I'm asking you your opinion. What do you think the next party system is going to look like? There is no right or wrong answer. I'm not going to grade you on the right or wrong answer part of this essay question. So when we get to this one, you're going to tell me why. You're going to tell me what you think and why. I'm looking for the why. What's a good explanation? Tell me why you believe this is going to happen. Don't just put down, I think the next party system is going to be Democrat because everybody hates Trump. That's not really a good reason why. You need to go in depth and explain why. So that's what I'm looking for in this part. So you're being graded on your why, not what's right or wrong. Okay? All right. That's it for this study guide. Hope you do well on this. Again, if you have any questions or problems, I am available Tuesday, Thursdays from 10 to 12:30 to help you out, and I want to help you out. Or email me. All right. Good luck on the test, and we'll see you soon.